What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our videos. Well, today I wanted to kind of do a video about what we're looking at as far as how the three-year-old picture is shaping up right now after two legs of the Triple Crown. We've got the Belmont coming up, and then the summer races like the Haskell Travers Pennsylvania Derby leading all the way up to the Breeders' Cup Classic will help determine this award. I usually try to do like a three-year-old of the year update when we have separate winners of the Derby and the Preakness, because a lot of times, guys, you know, if those horses win two of those legs there, the first two, they almost have it wrapped up because those races are so meaningful. But when you kind of have different ones, it makes for a little bit of debate. So I thought it'd be a good time to kind of check in on that. I'll put the horses I want to talk about now up on the screen. This is Gossker up on the screen here. So I'm going to rank the top five that I see as of right now. Before I rank the top five, I do want to mention some other ones because there's a whole bevy of horses that could show up to do the Belmont, win it, and all of a sudden they're in the conversation as either being the 1, 2, 3 ranked horse, right? So I won't talk about the top five that I think have like the best shot as of right now, but here's some of the other ones. Sandman is not a horse I've ranked at this moment. Mentally, if he could figure it out, maybe he could be one. Rodriguez, if he can stay healthy or get healthy, maybe he's one that can make a case for himself. We know he's got a little bit of talent. Burnham Square, Tistastic, two horses that seem to be a little bit of a cut below, but with a little jump up could make an impact on this thing as well. So those are some horses that I'm just going to throw out there that I'm not going to talk about in depth, but are horses that are on the radar, are, you know, with just, hey, one big win and they're in this thing. So, all right, let's go to the five now that I do want to talk about. Number five, this is Gossker up on the screen now. I'll show you there with Gossker. I wanted to look at his past performances. 2 straight wins there, won the Lexington two races back, and, you know, came within a half of winning the Preakness. So, look, I think he's light on the resume compared to the next ones we're going to talk about. No doubt about it. He's light on the resume compared to some of the other ones that I just talked about just a second ago. However, that second of the Preakness is going to carry weight, and if he can go, I don't know if he's going to go to the Belmont or what, but if he can go and whether it gets second or maybe go win a Haskell or a Jim Dandy, he could at least put himself in the realm of the conversation. So that second in the Preakness kind of does put him at least in the conversation. The fourth horse we're going to mention is Final Gambit. 2 races in a row for him before the Kentucky Derby, including a win in the Jeff Ruby Stakes. And look, I think a lot of people are going to talk about this horse because of how fast he was closing in the Kentucky Derby to get fourth. Again, that coupled with the Jeff Ruby Stakes win has put him in the realm. He's a lot like Gossker, where it's like he's in the realm of conversation. He's got great connections as well. So that's going to, you know, you kind of have that confidence he's going to get put in the right spots. He's just like Gossker, also in the same point. If he can win, if it's not the Belmont, if he can win a Haskell, a Jim Dandy, you know, something like that, his name all of a sudden is in the conversation. So Final Gambit up there at number 4. The top 3 are 3 that are very obvious. Baeza here at number 3. And look, won the maiden special weight 3 races back, very close second to Journalism in the San Diego Derby, very close third to Journalism, and just a couple links behind Sovereignty in the Kentucky Derby. He's really proven to be a big-time horse, and he, with this resume, if he can show up to the Belmont Stakes and win it, I'm not sure he's number 1, but he's got a case to be number 1, and he's right there where if he can win the Belmont and then get one more, he's right there going to be number 1. So he's put himself in a great spot. I think it flattered him big time that Journalism comes back and wins the Preakness. So, yeah, Baeza, big future ahead of him. Belmont Stakes is where they're targeting. And, boy, he's got a lot to gain there in the Belmont Stakes if he could win it. And even if he just runs really well and gets beat again, but he's close, he's still kind of in that realm with the Goskers and the Final Gambits of, hey, he's been really close. He just needs another or a first big grade 1 win, and it'll bounce him into another category. So he set himself up really nicely there. Journalism number 2 for me. You know, look, I think this horse has done the most, but that head-to-head matchup, losing to Sovereignty, you can't really rank him ahead of Sovereignty at this moment. If you think Journalism is going to end up being the number 1 horse, I'm not sure I would argue with you on that one. Of course, this horse this year winning the San Felipe, winning the San Diego Derby, a very good second in the Kentucky Derby, and an incredible first of the Preakness Stakes where it looked impossible, and the miracle did happen, and he was able to get up and get the job done. So right now, Journalism, you know, obviously if he goes to the Belmont and wins it, he's going to be number 1 and a strong number 1, probably going to win the award if no matter what happens. Well, I shouldn't say no matter what happens, but it's going to take a lot to overcome him if he goes to the Belmont and wins 2 out of the 3 legs of the Triple Crown, with his one loss being a second in the Kentucky Derby over a sloppy track and all the things we can talk about. So he's right there. And even if, he loses the Belmont, or even if he doesn't run in the Belmont, the door's not shut on him. Races like the Haskell and the Travers, if he can get them, Jim Dandy, he will get the Haskell or Jim Dandy. He'll run in one of those, I would imagine. If he can get those couple of those races, he'll be right there with a big chance at the end of the year to win it. Yeah, he with that Preakness win definitely showed us a lot. And then, like I said, and I alluded to it, if I could speak, Sovereignty, number 1 for me. And you kind of have to put him here, winning the Fountain of Youth, pretty good second in the Florida Derby, and then wins the Kentucky Derby. He's got to be first at this moment. He's headed towards the Belmont Stakes. And just like journalism, if Sovereignty can win the Belmont Stakes, we're going to be sitting here going, you know what? He's going to have a hard time losing this crown now, because 2 out of 3 Triple Crown wins goes a long, long ways. It's going to take a race like the Breeders' Cup for a 3-year-old to win to maybe pass him. So, big time race coming up for journalism if he goes, which they want to go for sure, and Sovereignty. So, look, I think as this thing rolls along, I hope journalism comes out of this thing sound. He's got a lot of energy, and he goes to the Belmont to face Sovereignty, even though Sovereignty is going to have a huge advantage skipping that race. But, it's still going to kind of lean towards Sovereignty in that point, but still having that rivalry would be great. And honestly, with that setup, if journalism was to beat him, that would really be a big feather in the cap of journalism, because, Sovereignty did wait and prepped for the Belmont, where journalism went out there and got it in the Preakness. So, but either way, going to be great if those 2 horses are in the race, to see Sovereignty and journalism match up again there at Saratoga, a historic racetrack that will have a historic matchup if those 2 horses come at it. So right now, like I said, the top 5, and I would say that's like the top 5 most likely winners of the 3-year-old horse of the year is how I would describe it. This is not really a ranking of, talent. It is in some regards. You have to be talented to be on this list, but it's more of a ranking of who are the 5 likely winners of 3-year-old horse of the year by the time we get there towards the end of the season. So for me, it was Gossker, Final Gambit, Baeza, journalism, and Sovereignty. But as we know, a lot is going to be decided in the next 4 or 5 months. So stay tuned. This is when racing just gets good, guys, and we're still going to have a whole lot to talk about, starting with the Belmont Stakes coming up in a couple of weeks. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching this video. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, stay tuned to the channel for more horse racing news.